Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is episode 2 of the story A New Dawn in the Ghetto. This episode is titled New Beginnings, Hard Realities. In the last episode, we saw how the Ade family settled into their new apartment in the ghetto. However, they had unanswered questions about how their new life would be. What do you think happened in this episode? Anyway, to find out, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The sun rose over Ajegunle, casting a hazy golden glow over the crowded streets. The sounds of the ghetto filled the air, hawkers shouting their wares, loud music from nearby speakers, and the distant roar of downfall buses. It was the Ade family's first full day in their new home, and as they woke up, the reality of their situation sank deeper. Mrs. Ade was the first to rise. The room was already stuffy, and the stale scent of damp wood filled her nose. She glanced at her children, still curled up on the tin mattresses. She sighed, adjusting the wrapper around her body before stepping out. She made her way to the communal bathroom, a small, dimly lit space with cracked tiles, a broken bucket, and a weak trickle of water from a rusted pipe. She shuddered at the sight. Back in Surulere, they had their own bathroom, clean and private, but here she would have to share with nearly 10 other families. She quickly washed up and returned to the room where the others were starting to stare. Good morning, everyone, she said softly. Sarah rubbed her eyes and yawned. I'm hungry, mommy. Mrs. Ade smiled weakly. I will make something now. Tunde sat up, stretching. His face was still dark with resentment. What are we even eating? He muttered. His mother ignored the bitterness in his tone and turned to her husband. Will you go out today? Mr. Ade, who had barely spoken since their move, nodded. I would look for work. Anna groaned as she got up. Do I really have to go to that new school? Can't I just stay at home? Mrs. Ade shot her a sharp look. Your education is non negotiable. As the family stepped out to start their day, they were greeted by the chaos of the ghetto. Sarah clutched to her mother's hand as they made their way to the market to buy food. The narrow alleys were lined with makeshift stores, selling everything from akara, pancakes, to second-hand clothes. The air smelled of roasted corn, sweat, and uncollected waste. As they walked, a group of rough-looking teenage boys whistled at Anna. Fine girl, where you from? One of them called. Anna lowered her gaze and quickened her pace. Mrs. Ade pulled her closer, whispering, Don't ever talk to boys like that. Stay away from them. Meanwhile, Tunde has ventured out alone, determined to explore. He wandered through the streets, taking in the sights of children playing barefoot, young men gambling on street corners, and a group of people haggling in the market. Then he felt a presence behind him. New boy, a voice dulled. He turned to a tall, muscular teenager with a scar on his cheek. He was flanked by two others who looked equally intimidating. You just move here, Abby? The boy asked. Tunde straightened. Yes. The boy smirked. I be Blade. Everybody know me for here. Tunde had heard the name before, from Mama Sunday. He had a bad feeling about this. Blade eyed him up and down. You look smart. We feel use person like you. Tunde frowned. Use me for what? Blade chuckled. No worry, you go understand soon. He patted Tunde on the shoulder. We go talk. As he walked away, Tunde felt a chill run down his spine. Anna's first day at her new school was a nightmare. She had been used to a private school with air conditioned classrooms, clean desks, and well dressed students. But here, the classrooms were overcrowded, the walls had peeling paint, and some students didn't even have books. As she took a seat, the girl next to her eyed her curiously. Na your first day? She asked. Anna nodded. The girl smirked. You go learn fast. You too posh now, but you go soon sabi. Say we no dey form for here. Throughout the day, Anna felt the stares of her classmates. They whispered about her accent, her clean uniform, and her polished shoes. During break, she overheard a group of girls talking. That new girl too dey do shakara. She go soon drop all that her big girl attitude. Anna clenched her fist. She had never felt so out of place before. Meanwhile, Mr. Ade was walking the streets of Lagos looking for work. He went from one office to another, dropping off his CV, but the responses were all the same. We are not hiring. By the afternoon, his feet were sore and his heart was heavy. He passed by a construction site, watching as laborers carried cement bags, their bodies drenched in sweat. A thought crossed his mind. Should he take a menial job just to provide for his family? His pride resisted the idea, but his family needed him. As he walked home defeated, he made a decision. He would do whatever it took to survive. Back at home, the family gathered for dinner, boiled yam and palm oil, a simple meal. The air was heavy with silence. Anna poked at her food, lost in thought. Tunde stared blankly at the wall. Sarah, sensing the mood, ate quietly. Finally, Mrs. Ade spoke. How was school? Anna sighed. It was different. Mrs. Ade nodded. You will adjust. Tunde scoffed. Adjust to what? Living in a slum? Pretending like this is normal? Mr. Ade, who had been silent all day, suddenly spoke. His voice was low but firm. This is our life now. We don't have a choice but to make it work. Tunde clenched his jaw but said nothing. That night, as they lay in their cramped room listening to the distant sound of gunshots and shouting in the streets, one thing became clear. Ajegula was not just a place, it was a test of their strength, their unity, and their will to survive. Thanks for watching. What do you think will happen next? Do you think the family will survive these challenges? Episode 3 will be out soon. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss it.